What up, folks, and welcome to the Kyber Culture, episode 108, with myself, the Depakalorian and Johndor. On the docket today, we're just chatting some news and wrapping up reviewing Andor, just doing episodes 10 and 11. Man, what a season of television. So stick around, make sure to follow the Kyber Culture on YouTube and TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Check the links in the description, it's all there. And if you like what you're listening to, please consider leaving a rating and a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We'd really appreciate it. Before we get started, a little disclaimer, I do have like a bit of a cough here, so apologies if that comes up, but besides that, how's it going, Aaron? How you been? It's been a long time since we podcasted together.
It's been a few weeks, man. I'm doing okay, man. It's actually been a little bit of a rough ending to 2022, I'm not gonna lie. My grandpa passed away like the very end of November, which, I wasn't like super close to him since I moved. It's just one of those. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, man. It's just one of those things, though. When you have somebody in your family like passes away, like even if you weren't close to them, like those just like weird thoughts come up in your head. It's like, well, what if I was closer to them? And just like all these like hypotheticals, and like you don't have that opportunity anymore. But yeah, I mean, it's been a long time coming for him. He went very peacefully, so it ain't all that bad. And in his beliefs, he is with his wife, in heaven. So
that's
good for
nice,
him.
Yeah.
And then kind of my dog, but like my parents' dog, Lucy. Joe knows Lucy very well. Yeah, she also passed away like 4 days ago. And it's for some reason, I don't know, animals passing sometimes. It's just like, I feel bad for saying it. Yeah, it's like almost worse than like family members passing away sometimes, because animals are just innocent and they're like such good companions, and, they pass no judgment, unlike humans. So it's been a little rough, but, I just focusing on the positives. Dragonflight just came out. Talk a little bit about that in a little bit here. Kind of balled out a little bit and bought myself something that I've always wanted to buy, and I hoping to show that off on the Kyber Culture social media. But I did buy a pair of lightsabers.
Fuck yeah, dude!
Very excited about those. Very, very excited about those. I literally tracked.
So they haven't come yet.
Like, no, It's been so delayed. It's pissing me off. I literally track the package like 20 times a day. I'm like going insane over it. But yeah, I'm so excited. I think I'm going to do a little vlog / review about them and kind of show off. Maybe go outside and try to do some lightsaber swinging, some novice amateur lightsaber swinging, and maybe you guys can get a peek at that. Yeah, I'm hoping 2023 is a banger year.
Yeah.
It's coming up, but
it was here. Fucking
so
creeped
fast.
Up so fucking fast.
Insanely fast.
It's like it was October and now it's December, know?
Dude, it was almost like it was July and now it's December for me, man. Like, Jesus, it just flew by. But yeah, and I'm also going down to California. Hopefully get to see Joe when I'm down there. Some of the other boys.
Yeah, man.
Some of my parents.
Try and link up.
The podcast boys coming together in real life is strong energy. Very strong energy.
Very, very rare gathering.
Hopefully really end 2022 on a strong note. But what's going on with you, Joe?
Not much, man. I just got back from New York, which was so much fun. Got to meet all my colleagues in person, got to be a tourist for a little bit, but it was a blast. I mean, I came back with a little bit of a cold, a little bit of a cough, but it is what it is. Like there were some days where the high was like 40 degrees and I was like, this is fucking nuts. Like the high. And it was funny just because like one of the first days we got there, it was like 55, 60, but it was like raining. And then on days where it was like real sunny, it was colder than when it was fucking raining. And I'm just like, this is fucking nuts.
That's how it is up here.
I'm already scheming up my next trip because like there were some things that I wanted to do, but like I went with my parents, so there's only so much that you can do when you have them around, And that's not to like knock on them or anything. It's just like a different trip if like you go with your friends and then when you go with your family, I'm always keeping in the back of my mind if I would want to move over there. All my coworkers are always telling me like, hey, you gotta like just fucking do it. Just come out here. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see. It's not cheap to live over there. Gotta think about like what to do with my car. Like it's this whole thing. It's a move. Like I've only moved out of my parents' place. Like the place I'm in now is the first time I ever moved out. And then like my second move is like, oh, I'm gonna move across the country. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, so we'll see. Always keep it in the back of my mind. I'll definitely do it if the stars aligned, if everything was in place, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, other than that, I'm doing good. Today is Sunday, December 11th. And excuse me, I woke up around, I think like 10:30-ish this morning. And now it's almost 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. I pretty much played God of War Ragnarok from when I woke up till about 6:45 p.m.
The gamer in me is giving you the biggest fucking fist bump right now, dude.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. And I'm pretty sure at one point in the game, when you're boating around with Mimir, he was starting to say stuff like, when he tells stories. So he told a couple stories while we were boating around, and then there was some silence, and then he was like, "Don't you ever get tired, brother? Don't you ever want to take a break, take a nap?" I was like, wait, are you talking to me or
Damn.
No, but then a little while afterwards, there was a mission where Kratos actually went to sleep, and it was part of the story. So I don't know if he was referring to that, or if he was or if the game just knows oh, you've been playing for some time now. Do you want to take a break?
It's got to be a double entendre.
Yeah. When you reach that point in any video game when you most of your abilities are almost peak to max, and you're just kind of just running through every mob you can, and it's the peak of the game, it's this is when it's most fun.
Yeah. You literally blow on them and they just die.
Yeah. It's that's where I'm at right now. Yeah, the story's pretty awesome. Very emotional. I was surprised at how emotional it was. I think I am enjoying this story more than the first one. But yeah, no, that's it for me. Before we move on and start talking about some news, let's take a quick break for some ads. All right, and we're back. So, first couple news things I want to talk about here. We got just some trailers that I want to chat with you about. First one, Indiana Jones 5, coming out June 2023. Aaron, were you a fan of Indiana Jones? Did you watch all these?
Yeah, I've watched them all. I'm not Brian loves Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we just don't talk about it that much because we just talk so much Star Wars. But yeah, I'm kind of in the middle, but
it's like another Lucasfilm thing,
Yeah. Big adventure.
Yeah, no, Indiana Jones 5, we got the first trailer. It looks like we're going to, oddly enough, it looks like we're going to be doing some time jumps, like some time travel shit. I don't know how this is all going to work out because we definitely get 2 looks at Indy, and he's de-aged, de-aged Harrison Ford in this a couple times. Got to look at Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She's in this as well for anyone that likes Fleabag. But yeah, no, this looks great. Mads Mikkelsen also here. Got Indy punching a Nazi, of course, classic. But yeah, what do you think about this trailer? Are you hyped? It's officially titled Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
I would say it's just in the category, just barely in the category of a must watch. I definitely will watch it. My only comment on it is, Harrison Ford was tired of playing Han Solo. Is he not tired of playing Indiana Jones?
No, he's not actually.
He's not.
I think he has more. I mean, this is going to be the last time he will. I'm pretty sure this is the last time that he will be Indiana Jones. But I just heard him talk about, I watch interviews with Harrison Ford, when he's talking about Star Wars, they're always asking him the fan questions who shot first? And he's always I think I don't care. And then whenever he talks about Indiana Jones, this guy, when they showed the first trailer, I think it was at D23, they showed the first trailer for Indiana Jones. He got teary-eyed and emotional. And I think it's mostly just because he was Indiana Jones, he's the face of the franchise. I think amongst people, everyone knows him more so for Han Solo than they do Indiana Jones. I think that's arguable, but yeah, no, I think he's more into Indy than he was Han Solo.
Yeah, I also, still on topic, but I also didn't realize that in the Indiana Jones movies, because I haven't watched them several times, over, each one of them. Yeah. But I didn't know this until I watched the video about the Easter eggs in Luthen's shop, that there's a bunch of Star Wars Easter eggs in the Indiana Jones movies, in the second or third one, on one of the statues, there's a carving of R2D2 and C3PO.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I need to look that one up.
Apparently, there's a lot. Well, there's a handful of them, I should say. But it makes sense, same property, same IP. No, it should be fun, man. It's classic Indiana Jones humor, adventure. The CGI looks, I don't know how I feel about the CGI yet. Young Wood.
You don't think it looks good?
I don't know. I think I have to see more of it to really form an opinion on it. But it's just very obvious, it's not subtle. Yeah, no,
I think any de-aging tech, I don't think it's ever going to be super perfect, because I think any time they do it, it's not I could tell oh yeah, no, that's a CGI face, it's not I'm fooled or whatever.
It'll get good with AI and stuff. It'll get crazy.
But no, I think it looks like a lot of fun. One thing I really want to see out of this movie is I want to see Short Round come back. That would be fucking awesome because those two actors, Jonathan K. Kwan, who played Short Round when like he's like the little Asian kid, they like reunited at D23 and they're both just like they're aged now, you know.
Ecstatic.
So, yeah,
but ecstatic to see each other.
Yeah. So that would be fucking amazing, and I wouldn't put it past him to include him in this because Jonathan K. Kwan is like all the rage right now. Like he's sweeping up awards season. So we'll see how that goes. But okay, so that's it for Indiana Jones. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 got the first trailer. A very emotional trailer, I thought. Like just the music, and it definitely feels like it's like the final send-off for this team of Guardians. But it's also like it's gonna be James Gunn's like last thing with Marvel Studios. Like this is gonna be his last movie for them because he's moving on to DC next. But no, I thought the trailer was great. We got a look at Adam Warlock. I wonder who's going to die in this. Are they just going to wipe out all the Guardians of the Galaxy and then they're just going to move on with like a different team, or like what are they going to do? But I thought it was a great trailer. I thought the music was good. I hope the movie's good. What about you? What do you think about the trailer?
Like you said, emotional. My one big question was who was punching Nebula in the face?
Pretty sure that's Adam Warlock.
That was Adam Warlock? Okay, because I was watching it and I was like, okay, they intentionally went over like his face like so fast that you kind of couldn't tell. But I also had like my mouse over like where you could scrub, and it was like, oh, this is the most watched point in this trailer. And I was like, oh shit.
Everyone's just trying to see who it is who's sucking out Nebula.
Yeah. Because it's clearly important. I mean, if you're paying attention, but no, looks great.
And you know a little bit about Adam Warlock, right?
It's a little vague in my memory at this point, but yeah, I read the
Infinity Gauntlet.
Infinity Gauntlet, yeah, the comic book. Awesome stuff, by the way. Definitely read that if you haven't. But no, looks great. Looking forward to it, man. May 2023. We're going to get those banger soundtrack like we always get.
I'm looking forward to this movie for sure. Probably one of my more anticipated Phase 5 projects. Next trailer, The Bad Batch Season 2, coming out January 4th. So what'd you think about this one? Let's see. We got Rex in this trailer. That was cool. We got who?
Gungi. Or Gungi.
Is that the Wookiee Jedi?
The Youngling Jedi.
The Wookiee Youngling Jedi. That's sweet. Yeah. Force grabs the lightsaber. That was pretty sweet.
Fucking I cried. I showed it to you. I was like, that's so sick.
Damn. So Survivor of Order 66. How cool is that? I don't know. I think I wasn't that big on the first season. Like there were definitely some episodes that I liked. Like definitely the season premiere was fucking amazing.
We got Fennec Shand in the first season. That was kind of dope.
But what did you think about this trailer? What else did you pick out that you saw and enjoyed?
Other than Gungi, I mean, that was the highlight. The Zillo Beast, if you're a Clone Wars enthusiast, the Zillo Beast from one of the story arcs where I think they're the same. It's the planet where Sebulba's from. I forget the race, but it's like this ancient beast that race kind of wants to like bring the beast up to like eliminate the other, like who they're fighting on the planet, and the Jedi are like, no, can't do this, blah, blah, blah. But if you know, you know. Seeing Sidious was awesome.
He's fucking back. The Senate is back.
Yeah. I mean, we got Bail Organa in there. Not a whole lot else. I do like how it's definitely sliding towards bringing back in major characters from like this time period. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. There was one chick that they showed like towards the beginning of the trailer that I feel like she's from Andor, and she might have been in the Andor story arcs in Clone Wars, but I could be absolutely wrong. I forget her name in the trailer. But no, I think this is going to be, I mean, I did like the first season of The Bad Batch, but I think this is going to be a lot better. Season 2 is going to be a lot better.
You know who else is back in this is Commander Cody. I wonder if they're going to try to turn him. Well, yeah, that's The Bad Batch. Not really a trailer for this, but just a little reminder that Mando Season 3, we did get a release date, comes out March 1st. Now let's talk a little bit of video games. First one I do want to talk about, Jedi Survivor gameplay trailer.
Oh, shit, man.
Comes out March 17th. March is a busy month for Star Wars fans. We're gonna be busy. The gameplay trailer looks fucking amazing, and I'm starting to fall off the train that the guy in the back to tank is Starkiller. I mean, I'd still like for it to be, that'd be cool. But the gameplay looks awesome. There's like, you can fucking ride like in this animal thing, like a horse. I don't remember if you can ride animals in the first one. I don't think you could.
No. I think it's
So
like a
that's
force
pretty cool.
ability you're probably going to learn.
Like a force bond with an animal or something. That'd be
Yeah.
sweet. Dude, you know what's funny about that I'm starting to notice about a lot of games is like for these like role playing, like single player, like what you play for the story. I feel like a lot of games are starting to do the same thing where if it's like a slasher or like some sort of action game, you can always either like jump across a great distance and like throw out a string and like swing from place to place, like whether it be like Spider-Man or like you can scale walls, like the two, like I'm playing God of War right now and you can literally do all that stuff. You can swing from platform to platform. You can climb up walls. You can climb up walls in Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. And something that I saw was like, I feel like a lot of games are starting to do where you hold on to like a parachute. It's like the Fortnite thing where you can hold onto a parachute and just like glide down. You got some of that in this trailer. And I'm like, what's going on here? You know? I feel like they're just trying to like insert these like little popular things from some of the free games to make it feel like familiar, I guess. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Or I think it's to make you feel like it's because it's not some crazy new feature in a single player role playing game for sure, but it's to make you feel like you have more freedom in the game, you know, even though like you really don't. It's like you're still tied within boundaries of the map, and you're still tied within how high you can go, how low you can go, like the verticality. I still will say it's not something that I was like, oh, they definitely should have put this in the first game, but I do like seeing it in the second game. That's nice. Just a different form of mobility.
I might have come off as saying like that was like a bad thing, but I was just like, I guess it's
regurgitated.
Cool. Yeah. If it just feels like it's, like a lot of games are trying to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like, anyways, we can move on from that. But other than that, no, the game looks awesome. I'm really curious about the story. Who is this dude that's in the back to tank?
Yeah. And who's his little compatriot that can just like roll off his back, off of Cal's back and just like fight side by side him, you know, that the dude that saves him from the ledge.
It seemed like they're like good buddies.
Yeah.
You know?
Like they knew each other already.
Yeah. Seems like you'll have like a little companion, a little party to tag along with you for some missions. But yeah, no, it looks dope. Looks like a blast. You also get to like, it looks like they're going to be like, you'll get to fight some clankers too. Like some Roger type cats.
If you a Roger ass type cat, dude.
I forget the actual name of the droids. What do you know what they're called? Do they actually have a name?
Like the basic droids or like the ones that like shoot from their wrists?
No, the basic droids.
Basic ones are just like
Roger ass cats.
Yeah, dude. That's literally what they're called.
Oh man. But yeah, no, you get to fight all sorts of droids in this from like the prequel era, like some leftover type droids from the war or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this game. It's gonna be a blast. And after they showed the gameplay trailer, fucking Cameron Monaghan came out on stage during the Game Awards, and he was like, "Oh, this is the greatest like Star Wars game ever." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, man. We'll see, okay." Like I'd like it to be, but don't get my hopes up like that. So yeah, but what you were saying, something?
Dude, the Kylo Ren
cross guard. Yeah.
The cross guard, dude. So if you look at kind of that, seeing that you can, like, I don't know if you get to a point in the story and it's like, oh, in this part of the story, you use the cross saber, or it's like, you just have the option. And then like when you use that style saber, it's like, oh, you're slower, but like your heavy swings hit harder, or
that has to be it.
The double saber, like you're faster, but each one hits weaker, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think that's how it worked out. Like I remember in the first game, like when I got the double bladed lightsaber, like you were able to throw out more strikes, but the amount of damage you would be doing is the same as if you just had the one lightsaber. But yeah, so I don't know. It's fun though. Yeah, the cross guard was interesting, and then you also see a force ability. I think you might have been able to do this in the first game, but could you freeze blaster bolts in the first game?
I don't think you could do it in the fashion that you saw in the trailer, because he freezes like an entire area and all that moves in like slow motion, and it's like a wider radius essentially. Yeah. I think you could do it in the first one, but it was more of like one blaster bolt at a time.
Right. I thought that was pretty cool. Like two things that kind of call back to Kylo right there, like freezing blaster bolts and the crossguard lightsaber. I thought that was pretty neat. But yeah, no, really looking forward to this game.
His powers are growing. His powers have grown, and his mustache and goatee's grown.
Yeah, no, he's aged. He's been through some shit because he has a full beard.
Yeah,
your character's been through some shit, man. But yeah, so March. Well, we brought up the Game Awards, so let's just briefly touch on some things that happened at the Game Awards. So I don't know if you played Hades. Brian played Hades, right?
Oh yeah,
this is an announcement that I saw. Oh, you played it too?
I think I introduced Brian to it.
Okay, it's getting a sequel. You hyped on it?
Fuck yeah.
Did you watch it? There was a gameplay trailer. I forget. I didn't send it though. But yeah, it looked interesting. I immediately thought of you guys when I watched it.
It was such a fun dungeon crawler. It's awesome.
Very cool. Another one, Last of Us Part 1 coming to PC in March. You gonna play it? Another March thing. Holy fuck.
Dude, definitely gonna play it, and we're also getting The Last of Us the show
in January.
Soon. Yeah,
we're getting it in January. Fuck. I need to play The Last of Us. No, I'm not gonna have time. I'll probably be playing God of War for the rest of the month, and then by then the fucking Last of Us show will probably be on HBO. But one more thing, I didn't talk about this on a recent pod, but this happened like a couple weeks ago. But rest in peace to Kevin Conroy, guy that voiced Batman in pretty much in all the video games. He also voiced Batman in the animated series from back in the day. Fucking iconic, my childhood right here. And it's crazy just because I spent like the last like couple years just like randomly putting on random episodes of the animated series. So this one was tough. He will be voicing Batman one more time in a new video game in Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. That looks pretty fun. I just hope they don't kill Batman in that, because I'd feel like, oh fuck, like the last time Kevin Conroy's Batman, like you playing as a Suicide Squad and you fucking kill Batman, that'd be nuts. But yeah, we'll see about that game. Looks like it just like a super violent superhero game. So we'll see. A couple more things here. Elden Ring wins Game of the Year and Best Game Direction. God of War Ragnarok pretty much got everything else. You were pretty much like if you were to bet money on this, it was like, yeah, Elden Ring is Game of the Year.
I'm pretty sure I said it in a previous pod. Like when I first played, I was like, this is winning game. Maybe I didn't say it in the pod, but I was like, no, this is winning Game of the Year for sure. And rightfully so. I mean, not much else to compete with it. Fantastic fucking game.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised to see it. If I was betting money on it, like I would be like, yeah, dude, Elden Ring for sure. Let's see what else we got. Cyberpunk getting an extension with Idris Elba, or not extension, expansion. I guess same difference. But did you ever beat Cyberpunk? Because we were just talking to Brian about it. He just beat Cyberpunk. Yeah. Are you gonna play this expansion?
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's hilarious too that they're bringing Idris Elba into it. I'm like, if you're gonna bring another Keanu Reeves-esque kind of person into this game, I feel like Idris Elba's pretty perfect.
You know, it's pretty fucking crazy. I didn't put this in the outline, but Hideo Kojima had like a little presentation on for Death Stranding 2. Did you ever play the first one?
No, I did not.
I never played it either. I don't remember many people talking about it. The cast for Death Stranding is fucking nuts. It has Mads Mikkelsen. It has Daryl from Walking Dead. Yeah, it has Mads Mikkelsen, and it has Leah Seydoux. I don't know if you know who that is, but she's like the blonde love interest in some of the James Bond movies, or in Daniel Craig's James Bond movies.
I'd have to see pictures.
Just look her up. You'll recognize her. But she's in it as well. I'm like, damn, like I've only seen her in movies, and then I just see the trailer and like she's in it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I would never expect her to do like video game stuff. But then now we're also getting like Cyberpunk with Idris Elba, and like Keanu Reeves is part of it already. And I'm just like, Cameron Monaghan is in fucking Fallen Order. Like it's crazy, dude, how they're getting this talent for these video games now. The
video game to screen and vice versa adaptations are just getting so much better. Like Arcane just won, the League of Legends show just won an award. I don't remember what it was for.
It was the best adaptation, and I'm pretty sure Last of Us will get that next year. Like best game to screen adaptation. That was the award category. Right. But yeah, no, Haley Steinfeld is like one of the voice actresses in that. She's like the main one.
In Arcane?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I still haven't watched it, man. Wait, hold up.
I'm pretty sure the rest of the cast is pretty crazy too. Actually, no, I don't recognize anybody else in this cast. But yeah, Haley Steinfeld is the main person. Vi, I think that's
she
her name.
plays Vi? Damn.
Yeah.
That's hella dope.
But
I gotta give that a watch. Just haven't had Netflix for a while.
I hear it's very good. Like animation style is very good. Yeah. So I think I watched like 2 episodes of it. I was down. I just never returned to it. But yeah, Arcane won in that. Last thing from the Game Awards that kind of caught my eye, Christopher Judge wins Best Performer. I mean, I think that was kind of a given. Like, I always watch, like, the behind the scenes of God of War Ragnarok and just watching Christopher Judge do all this stuff in the motion capture suit. This guy's, like, literally so emotional, and it's like, he's literally, like, crying real tears out of his eyes while filming this stuff. And it's like, these tears aren't going to get caught on camera.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's crazy, too, because he took over, because didn't the original actor die
He passed away. Yeah.
Or after the third game, I think?
And he mentioned that too. He was like, this like goes out to that guy as well.
Yeah.
It was very cool. And he got presented this award from Al Pacino. And I was like, what? The first category at the Game Awards was this one. It was like Best Performer, and it was presented to him by Al Pacino. I was like, what the hell, dude? And Al Pacino is so funny about it too, because he's like, you know, older now, and he's just kind of goofy. He's like, I'll be honest with you, I don't play a whole lot of video games. And it was really funny because like he said that, and then like one of the hosts of the show is also like, oh, like sometimes I spend more time outside in real life than just playing video games. Like, why are you saying this? Like, you're at the Game Awards. You're gonna be talking about like how much time you spend outside at the Game Awards. Like, what are you trying to do here?
Come on, man.
But yeah, no, Al Pacino is like, he doesn't play a lot of video games, but he watches his kids play a lot of video games. Then he went on into like a kind of like a heartfelt spiel about like storytelling and how much like video game storytelling has like improved so much over the years or whatever. And it was pretty good. It was cool. It was cool to listen to him talk about that. But yeah, that's the Game Awards. And anything else from the Game Awards that you liked?
No, those are definitely the highlights for me.
Okay, cool. Well, let's take one more break for some ads, and we'll be back in a quick second. But what about you? What's good with you in the gaming world? I know Dragonflight just recently launched. First question to you: what's it like? What's the new class? A Drakthir, right?
Drakthir, yeah. You can
Drakthir. So can you actually fly? Just like by yourself?
You can, and you can actually like somebody can actually like
ride you.
Yeah, somebody can literally mount on top of you. Yeah,
sick.
I'm not fucking with it. I mean,
you're not fucking with it.
I'm not because you know I got my class. I got my spec.
Don't fucking mount me, dog.
I don't play a healer, and I ain't playing no. You know, dragons look sick, but not these dragons.
The Drakthir class just looks lame?
I think it looks pretty lame. I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
You have to look at pictures, man. It does not look that cool.
Dang, that sucks. But at least as what you can do as them, is that pretty cool?
Yeah.
Like as a new class, and what is it? It's like, it's not just a new race of characters. Like there's like a new class too, right?
Yeah, so it's Evoker. So you play Drakthir Evoker or Drakthir. I don't even remember the name of the healing spec, and there's only 2 specs, kind of like a demon hunter.
So what is it one's tank, one's healer, or can you do like DPS?
One's DPS, one's healer. And like mechanically, at least from what I've heard, like the healing spec actually seems like a really not just brain dead like spec to play. It actually seems like involved, like you have to be aware, kind of like adaptive kind of class, which is cool. But I don't play a healer. Never really have. I mean, I have as like an alternative character, but ain't my main spec. I'm a DPS player for the most part. But
got you. Are you gonna hit me with a recruiter friend or what?
Yeah, I mean, with the second you decide to come back, you know it.
Okay, cool.
You know it.
Okay. Well, we'll have more of a discussion on it when I try to hop on that recruiter friend. But yeah, so what else? What else from the game? Like you're a few weeks in.
Almost 2 weeks in. It launched the 28th. Biggest changes. The most impactful change for me, and I think a lot of the player base, is getting out of the Shadowlands like aesthetic. The zones and everything in Shadowlands were just fucking terrible. Like they did not feel good to be in.
Okay.
The zones in Dragonflight feel like, personally, they feel like a mixture of like a lot of different zones in previous expansions. Like the Kirin Tor is back.
Is Dalaran here?
Well, they're kind of like the guild or like group behind Dalaran, but Dalaran is not here. Like it's a city. It's a new like major hub. It's called Valdrakken. That's the biggest change. It like feels good to be in these new zones. Like there's like a plain zone where it's kind of like you kind of feel like you're part of the Khalasar in Game of Thrones. There's a lot of like grassy plains, and they're more of like centaur beings. It's kind of nice. It's very peaceful. They're very like primitive group of people. It's awesome. Biggest change is dragon riding, which obviously, just called Dragonflight. You're going to be riding some dragons. Mm-hmm. It's been a very different spin on flying in a new zone, like on a new expansion. Previous expansions, you either had to, like Joe, you played Burning Crusade. When you played Burning Crusade, you had to
fucking work your ass off to fly.
You had to farm the gold, which was hard to farm. You had to get to 68, I believe.
58.
No.
Oh, 68. Wait, no. Burning Crusade, the cap was what, 70?
70, so it was 68.
Oh, okay.
So you had to get like outland flying. In more recent expansions in like Battle for Azeroth, like flying in that zone was locked behind like this ridiculous fucking achievement. You couldn't even just buy it or like level up and then buy it. You literally learn dragon riding in like the first 10 minutes of gameplay, but you have like a skill tree for your dragon riding, which like it gives you more abilities, mostly more speed. But dude, it's fucking awesome. So it's like you remember kind of like the speeds. So it's like, oh, if you had like basic ground mounting, it was 60%. Epic ground mounting, 100. Basic flying, it was what, 100. Epic flying
50 or something,
or 50, and then epic flying was
280, and then I think and then the fastest that I ever flew was 310.
310.
Yeah,
dude. Top speeds 810%.
What? What the fuck?
But the thing is, like, you can't just like levitate in midair and just sit there in AFK. Like, if you were to just like have no speed and sit there, you would literally just start falling to the ground. And you would be gaining no like energy to use like any of your dragon's abilities. So you have to have like momentum pretty much like the entire time you're flying, which is cool. I think it's really cool.
Wait, so that's the top speed for just the Drakthir?
No. This is for your dragon.
For your mount.
You get a dragon, and pretty much every like quarter of the campaign that you finish, you get a new type of dragon. All the dragons have different customizations that you have to like unlock as you play the game. You can only use dragons in this zone. You can't use any other mounts. So everybody's just riding dragons together. It's kind of funny.
Can you ride like the Netherwing Drake? Like,
no,
because that's a dragon. Okay, so it has to be a dragon from this zone.
Yes, there's a Proto Drake. There's like the Highland Drake, which is kind of like the dragon you were referring to. The other two are kind of gross. Nobody really rides those. But yeah, no, it's a very interesting take on like mobility across a new zone. It's pretty easy to max your dragon riding out. That is definitely one of the bigger changes in this expansion. And I think the second and most important change in this is professions. Professions are very different in this.
Like new professions or
same professions, but a new way to like you can like specialize in your professions very differently, like in the way you've never been able to before. There's like talent trees for your professions now. So it's like you have an identity to your professions, essentially. That was at least their goal. We're kind of time gated with leveling professions right now, but as the game progresses, I think it's going to be fun. Mythic Plus is still the same. Raid is more or less the same. But the first 2 weeks have been a little bit slow. They changed the reputation system. Now it's called Renown. Each level of reputation that you go up, you unlock new capabilities with that profession or that reputation. And there's 4 of them. And those are also tied to your professions. Like you can learn new recipes through Renown. Eventually you can buy like pretty good gear towards the end of like the max Renown. But it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. Blizzard's done a pretty good job of the game so far. I mean, there's definitely things that people have found to complain about. But compared to Shadowlands, it's almost like a lesser of two evils kind of deal. But it's been great. I think it's really fun. It's a beautiful game, beautiful zones. I think you like it, Joe. I think you would like it, and I think it would be fun for a more casual player. Much more than Shadowlands was.
Got you.
Yeah. Looking forward to giving some more updates on it in the future.
Nice. Well, that's Dragonflight, or at least a little introduction to Dragonflight. More to come in the future. Let's wrap it up here. Let's finish talking about Andor. We've already, for the past couple episodes, we've already been talking about how this is pretty much a perfect series. When we were talking about episode 10, we were both in agreement saying that like there's no way that they don't land the final 2 episodes. And boy, am I happy can confirm they fucking landed the last 2 episodes. So we're going to talk about episodes 11 and episode 12. Episode 11 being Daughter of Ferrix, and episode 12 being Rick's Road. So let's talk about episode 10 first. So this is post-prison break. Fucking quad jumpers are back, baby. A lot of low-key callbacks to almost every like era of Star Wars movies have been in Andor.
Take that quad jumper!
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like, it wasn't like super obvious or like in your face about it either. It was just kind of like casual, like, oh, look, here's a quad jumper, you know? But I was wondering if like the two guys that actually owned the ship were like the same like race as Unkar Plutt. Because they kind of sounded like him, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I never even thought about that.
Like the way that Unkar Plutt would talk, like the 60 portions. You know?
I think aesthetically they look similar.
Yeah, aesthetically they look kind of similar, and I thought they kind of sounded similar too. I don't know. But no, that was like a pretty funny scene. Like they netted them up at first, but then they were like, oh well, we could take you guys to Narkina 5, like no problem.
You guys aren't the Empire? All right, we got you.
Yeah,
taking our water and shit.
They need to go to Niamos, not Narkina. They're on Narkina 5. They want to go to Niamos. So let's see what else I like from this episode, dude. Fucking B2 emo. B2 emo fucking broke my heart all season long. We get the first shot of B2 emo in this episode. His eyes literally looked like they were like watering up and tearing up because Marva had passed away. Like he kept on saying like stuff like, oh, like I don't want to be alone and I want Marva. And he always just wants to like tag along with everybody who's there. And it's just like, it's so sad, you know? And it's like a lot of droids in Star Wars are likable because they have, you know, they all have their cool abilities, like except for 3PO. They all have their cool abilities, and that's kind of like why you connect with them, you know, because like for one, they're great companions, but they can also like hold their own. Like B2 emo literally can't do shit. He's literally just there to hang out.
He can barely keep a charge.
He's like low key falling apart, but he always has your back, you know. You really connect with B2 emo, and it's just so sad. I would take him everywhere. Like he asked what's his name, Brazo, I want to stay here, and then Brazo's like, well, no, you can't. Like, you have to come with me. Like, Marva wouldn't want you to come here. He's like, but like, you know, you could stay too. Like, we could like hang out for the night. And like, damn, dude, like, come on, just kick it have a boys' night out, dude. Just chill at the place.
Just trying to see like a Hawthorne Heights music video, but it's just B2 emo instead. Come on, wrist and black my eyes. My bad. I gotta not make you laugh. Damn it.
No, I love it. I'd be totally down. But we briefly talked about this theory. It's a theory that I heard on the Metalcore Nerds podcast, and I would love this theory to be true. But they think that B2 emo will eventually, like his consciousness will eventually be uploaded into a hacked Imperial droid, and that's K2. That's who K2SO is. That'd be fucking nuts. Like that would make so much sense as to why like K2 and Cassian have such a strong bond in Rogue One.
And it would be hella ironic considering there was a K2 droid that choked him out on
yeah
in the last episode of like I think it was episode 9. I'd
love to see that. I feel like B2 emo, like when he's in that little droid, he's like he kind of like stutters a lot, and but then when he gets uploaded into this droid, he's like brand new. K2SO
just to sock people out, dude.
Yeah. Just even more of a smartass, just like full of confidence, just like congratulations, you're being rescued. I'd be so happy if that happened. They need
progress pics on Instagram, dude.
Like how it started, how it's going.
It'd be so good.
That'd be so sick. Okay, let me stop right there real quick. I'm gonna pass it off to you real fast. What did you like about episode 11?
A lot of anticipation coming off from episode 10. I think it was a perfect... this would be considered the penultimate, right?
Yeah. It'd be
before the finale.
Last. Yeah.
I think it raised a lot of questions of like, okay, how is this shit actually going to end, man? And I don't mean shit. It's not shit. It's fucking beautiful. I think that this was the perfect, like, kind of just like throws the question marks over your head. They went back to the same planet that he got arrested on, right?
Yeah.
Or like the same part of that planet.
Yeah.
Like same exact part.
He went back. Yeah. He went back to his old like hotel or apartment or whatever. And all of his credits were there.
Got his credits, got the blasty.
Got everything. Oh man. It's almost like, how do you I guess I'm not, whenever I go into a hotel, I guess me personally, I'm not snooping around like the top of a shower.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, I don't know, like how did nobody find that?
It's a resort. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's fine. It's fine.
Let it slide. We'll
let it slide. We'll let it slide.
Yeah. But like that scene between Cassian and the homie that he escaped with is like, I personally think is super powerful because it's like you watch it and there's not like a whole lot of dialogue in that, but it's like if what he went through wasn't the turning point, this was kind of like the turning point for him, at least in my mind. How many people were on Narkina 5 just in that one location that escaped? It's just him and this guy who only met like, how many months has it been? Or even years, I don't know. But like to escape something like that and like realize the treachery of the Empire and then like be looking at this beautiful scenery behind you, trying to digest like everything that you just went through and went through before you were imprisoned. It's a perfect scene. Especially considering his homies like reinforcing the entire time, like people need to fucking know about this. It's almost like he knows Cassian's like mindset about the whole like rebellion thing, but he doesn't at the same time. He keeps reiterating it.
Yeah, Cassian never talked about the rebellion or anything like that.
No.
He just wanted to get out, you know?
Well, and he never actually like committed to the rebellion at all throughout the first season. You know what I mean? Like he was just kind of like, yeah, like I'm here, like kind of just doing things for Marva, who ends up just being fucking Pog. What else happened in this episode, man?
Well, we'll get to it in a bit. Like the way the episode closes out is pretty fucking epic. But
yes.
Let me just mention a couple more things. And my next 2 points, I'm kind of jumping between episodes 11 and 12. Not too big on spoilers though. But in this episode, they're talking about the funeral, like what is like Ferrick's custom, and like when someone passes or like a figure high up person passes in Ferrick's. For one, you're cremated, and then your ashes are put into a brick, and then you're added to like a wall, and then, you know, you're forever a part of Ferrick's or whatever. You know, it's pretty cool. But then in the finale with the riot, what I thought was awesome was Brasso. He hit one of the Imperial officers with the brick of Marva. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Even in the afterlife, she got one more punch in on an Imperial officer. Yeah, no, she, like, the brick didn't break either, you know? So, like, she would have loved, yeah. If she knew that happened, she would have been proud. Let's see, one more point here. I thought it was interesting that Mon Mothma almost got caught up with the money. Like, she was talking to Vel in episode 11 about, like, how I think it's like 400,000 credits or maybe more. I know it's like 400 something. It was a big number. She wasn't sure how she was going to get away with it. Like in the finale, she was able to pass it off onto her Make the Empire Great Again husband, because she knew that she knew that the driver was always listening. So she was like, what's with your gambling? Like, why are you gambling again? And then she was like, oh, you could go do that shit on Canto Bite. I was like, oh, fuck. No fucking way y'all are talking about Canto Bite. I love that. Shout out to Mon Mothma.
The Vegas of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. Let's see. We got another interaction between Luthen and Saw in this. Did you like this one?
I loved it.
I thought, like, of course, they're back and forth. They're talking about like sacrifices and sacrificing like 30 men in Krieger. And this these next couple of lines I heard in trailers, but just knowing like the context around these lines, and it's when Saw and Luthen are going back and forth, where Saw's like, oh, for the greater good. He was like, well, call it what you will. And then he was like, let's call it war. And I'm like, okay, that's fucking sick for one. But like knowing like what they were talking about prior to hearing that line is just makes it hit even harder.
No, that whole banter back and forth was so good because you did not know how it was going to end. And the whole like the whole mission for Spell Shield.
Spellhouse.
Spellhouse.
Yeah.
Andor Krieger.
Something like that, yeah.
When Luthen originally got there, it was this whole debate about like, you know, Krieger needs ships, blah, blah, blah. Second time he goes back, Luthen got informed by his ISB spy that they know. So now Luthen's in this weird situation, and it kind of handles it like a boss. It's like, yo, Saw, you need to listen to me. Saw, I feel like Saw is so prideful and kind of like, he comes off as this leader for his people, but I think he's pretty self-centered. You know, it's more about his pride than anything else.
But I think that's what his followers like respect about him. And that's why he has so many people behind him.
They both of those things just like energize each other. Speaking about Luthen though, man, I totally forgot this was in episode 11. The fucking lightsabers on a ship. Dude.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Oh my god, dude!
One
Luthen's
of the greatest Star
badass.
Wars. Yeah, no, one of the greatest like space battles ever. This is like top tier space battle, dude. Straight up, it looked fantastic. Just the look of it, and dude, he made fucking quick work of this cruiser. And I love when movies and shows are always like, oh, like countermeasures charging, or like we're working on our countermeasures. It's never just like, oh, I'm like working on the weapons, I'm firing up the weapons or whatever. No, it's countermeasures. Makes it sound super fancy. I feel like this is like Star Wars battle stuff that we've never seen before. At least the way he took out the satellite. And honestly, I don't think I've ever seen in any Star Wars someone take out like a tractor beam.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
That was so badass, dude.
Yeah, no, and I was like overthinking it, and I was overthinking the science of it and everything. When they first like caught him in the tractor beam, he asked his ship, is like, oh, what's the tractor force right now? He's like, oh, it's only at 2. Then he's like he wants to like power up the tractor force to like max level. And so like once it was like pumped up to like 4 or 5 or whatever the max out was, he shot out all those little metal things out the back of his ship so that they would be like forced back even harder against the satellite. I was like, yo.
So fucking good.
That shit was hard.
And it made it even, I gotta say this, it made it feel even better because there was a lot of dialogue in prior episodes to make you think as the audience that Luthen was like getting weak or like slipping, and like he pulls this shit off. Nah, he's full form, and
he stays ready. You know,
yeah,
like
he's always ready.
Yeah, he's always ready. Like even though he talks a lot, he's like he could talk the talk and walk the walk.
He's always strapped.
That's
too.
Yeah, no, strapped. He stays ready, dude. And it's crazy too because I feel like he could have absolutely taken out like 5 like TIE fighters went after him, like quick work, like no problem. The fucking lightsabers on the side of the ship, and then he has like front guns and then like a turret that turns around and shit. Like there's no chance you're taking this guy out. But he could have taken down. I think he could have just taken down and destroyed this cruiser if he wanted to. Like he could have taken out completely solo, but he was like, "Nah, I got places to be. Y'all be easy though. I'm out. Hyperspace. Peace. Peace." Oh,
we got
man.
Luthen on the track.
But yeah, so Luthen, of course, was that was nuts. A heartbreaking closing to this episode, and this is kind of like around where you the scene where you were talking about earlier when he makes the phone call to back to Ferrix, or when Cassian makes the phone call back to Ferrix. It's just heartbreaking just because like Cassian not knowing that Marva passed, and he's like, oh, like get a message to Marva Andor for me, and like just tell her that I'm okay and I'll be back soon, and like she's gonna be so proud of me for doing this. And then they tell him the news, and then it's like, oh damn, that's just fucking tough. I thought it's still very nice ending to the episode though, and like you said, the setting is gorgeous, the shots are gorgeous, and yeah, to go off and tell everybody about what's going down. It's great episode though. It wasn't like episode 10 was crazy, right? But I felt like episode 11 was like, okay, let's just chill out just a little bit. Even though that the Luthen scene was fucking electric, like let's just calm down just a little bit, and then we'll kick it back into gear in episode 11 to close it out. It's just perfect pacing, I thought. Yeah, you have anything else on episode 10?
No.
Whew, let's talk about the finale, Rick's Road. Fucking starts out with someone building a fucking bomb. Like, holy fuck. But I love that all the stories and all the plots kind of all meet back to where the show started. You know, I thought that was pretty cool. It all comes back to Ferrix. And then also in episode 11, they talked about like the ISB people. They were talking about the funeral and planning the funeral, and how the Empire allowed them, quote unquote, to take a certain road. They could only have like 30 to 40 people, and it had to be at a specific time. Like these are like the directions of the Empire. And then when the funeral actually happened, they just didn't do any of that shit. It's like,
Dude,
oh no, we're going to go
banging on the anvil.
Yeah, you start banging on the anvil. Did it at whatever time they wanted. They walked down whatever roads they wanted. As many people showed up as they wanted. It was all on their own terms. Fucking rebellion, dude. But let me pass it to you, dude. What did you like about the episode?
Dude, I think about it. We're going back to how we were saying it better end with a bang, but we knew it was going to end with a bang, and it literally ended with a bang.
Literally.
It was just so perfect. I mean, I hate to point this out first, and I feel bad for even saying it, but I don't at the same time. I love Deidre getting just trampled in the streets. There was some like tiny particle in my heart that was like, I hope Deidre has some sort of like redemption quality in her. I don't know why, but no, she fucking deserved it.
But she got rescued by Cyril.
Cyril is so fucking weird, man.
Yeah, no, this shit was disgusting. It was like you have the two worst characters on the show.
Are you guys gonna make out right now? Like what the fuck is happening?
The grossest like sexual tension ever. Please
We're the
stop.
Empire. We don't have hormones.
But no, like I mean, I think they're, you know, I'm not saying like they're terrible, like as in like bad written characters. I think they're good written characters, and it's like they're like the way they're written is like makes them extremely dislikable.
But no, it was kind of like this justice that you wanted to see, but didn't quite get it. We'll see. I mean, she's got to resurface. She's got to resurface.
Oh, of course, yeah.
In the next season,
I think she'll come back with a vengeance too. We'll see.
And I think she's going to be met with equal justice of her raised vengeance. I don't know. There's so many like not even good, just amazing things happening all at once throughout the whole Ferrix Road sequence, which is the majority of the episode. But just like the ceremony starting early, and then also there's like two bands kind of playing at the same time, and it's like super dissonant. Like the music is like so non-harmonic when it starts, but the closer they get together, it starts becoming like more and more harmonic. It's like,
and then once they're actually together, it like speeds up.
Yes,
it was cool. And again, the wardrobe here, all different shades of orange.
It is the birth.
This has to be like the first quote unquote battle, the spark of like the Galactic Civil War.
Like the first big, like, hey, we know you're the rebellion. The Empire or the ISB probably didn't know they were the rebellion until they started throwing shit. You know, everybody just started like rioting. It was the first like, hey, these are rebels. Like this is a rebel cell right here versus the Empire.
I just want to mention just like a couple before we talk about the fucking riot. A couple moments that made me kind of like almost tear up. I just didn't let it go, but I definitely got emotional in these moments. But there was a flashback where it was like his adopted dad, Clem. That's his dad's name, I think, Clem. And he was teaching him like this lesson. I think it's super fitting just for the rebellion and kind of fits the overall theme of the show. Like how sometimes people overlook things just because of what's on the surface. But if you take a closer look, there's like something of value there. Like even though he's like talking about these things that are worth like 500 credits each, I think it's that you can apply that to like anything. Yeah. I thought that was kind of nice. Another moment when Cassian was like, he was like back on Ferrix. Then he was like in that tunnel with Brasso, and he was like starting to feel like all that guilt. He was like, oh, like I should have never left. I shouldn't have done this. I should have stayed or whatever. And then Brasso was like, no. Like you need to stop telling yourself that. And then he essentially tells Cassian what Marva's last words were. And I don't remember a lot of it. I just know it's like, oh, like I knew he would feel this way or whatever. Yeah. The final line where I was like, oh man, that just hit me in the chest when he was like speaking from like Marva's perspective, but she was like, I love him more than he could ever do wrong. I was like, oh, gut punch.
It's big. It's deep.
But yeah, so let's move on to let's first talk about Marva's monologue. There are 3 great monologues all throughout the show. Kino had one in the prison. Luthen had one in episode 10. Marva had to close out the season with a great one. But I mean, let me just go first. There are just so many moments in this. I was like, damn, like it's like just a giant projection of her over all the people and all of Ferrix. Very, very good, like visually. And like she's talking about how like, you know, they got, I think the word is complacent with the way that they were living and what was going on in the world. How she was like, we've been sleeping. If I could wake up tomorrow morning, I'd be fighting these bastards, and like all the Imperial officers are just right behind her. He just kept on saying like, oh, how the Empire is a disease. she like before it gets cut off, she's just like, fight them, fight the Empire. I swear to God, dude, I was ready to start swinging at the TV after they knocked over
You're
B2
grabbing
Emo.
anything that's next to you. You're like, I'm fucking chucking shit at stormtroopers, man.
Yeah, I'm fucking in. Let's fucking go. But yeah, no, what'd you think about this speech?
Amazing. It was almost a parallel to me for just like the way that the whole season trended. The speech started like, oh, like, you know, this is more of like just talking generally about like the culture of Ferrix and like giving gratitude and all that. And then it just ramps up to like, no, fuck the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Fight now. Like it was just like a Y equals MX plus B, like full straight line.
Damn.
By the time you get there, you're like you said, you're like, you want to get up in your seat. You're just so fucking hyped because even when like the series was announced and you got the first trailer and all that stuff, like you knew what this was going to be about. It was the very, 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 very start of the rebellion. And that literally doesn't pop off until the finale. And it's just beautiful. And they even try to cover B. Nope.
Yeah.
Cover gets taken off. Like the rebellion's voice will be loud and it will be heard. The bomb being tossed out into the crowd from the guy in the beginning. It's the same thing. I feel like every time we talk about Star Wars, there's always something that is like relative to or can be relevant to like your own life. Don't back down. Even when times are fucking as hard as they could possibly be, don't fucking back down.
But yeah, no, and then that fight goes on. We're led to one more scene with Cassian. They're at the ship, they're about to take off. He's telling the pilot like you have to climb like no matter what. We talked about the whole climb thing, yeah. I think, in episode 10.
Big Rogue One reference.
Yeah. But then we got another B2 emo, very emotional spot. Is just like, you're not coming with us. Like, he just wants everybody around, you know?
But you still wonder, like, okay, well, where the fuck are you going, Cassian? What the fuck are you going to do now?
Yeah. And then, little do you know, like, fucking... Oh, I also got to say, too, like, while the speech was going on, I love that everybody that was like all the main like players and all the main side characters were all there listening to Marva's speech, like whether it would be like the Empire, like everybody was there. And I feel like even the speech like got to Luthen a little bit, you know, because he was there listening to it. And honestly, it probably fired him up as well, you know?
Yeah.
Like he like definitely the look on like Stellan Skarsgård's face looked like he was like pretty inspired by the whole thing. And it's probably why he didn't follow through with trying to kill Cassian. Like after that, he was like, "No, I'm not going to do it," you know, and he just kind of fucks off. But then Cassian gets the drop on where his ship is located, probably because he just parked in the same spot as like when they first left the planet together, you know. He just walks up to Luthen, leaves the gun like on the side for Luthen to grab. He's like, "All right, you either kill me or you take me in." And this is like when Cassian's like ready to go like full rebel. Fucking perfect ending to a perfect season.
And it's just crazy how Cassian knows that. He's like, oh, now I get it. You're trying to fucking kill me. And like, you know, Mon Mothma's cousin was there and then her lover was there and they sent themselves to Ferrix to fucking possibly kill him. Mm-hmm. He was like, you know what? If you're going to do it, fucking do it now. And then you're like, all right.
Otherwise, take me in. But no, that's yeah. I don't have much else to say on the season except this is, like we mentioned on all other Andor episodes, it's a fucking game changer. It's fucking beautifully written. The pacing is perfect. Acting is perfect. Direction perfect. Literally, there's no, except for it like even if it is like a little slow at times, I'd say like the first like 6 episodes like leading up to the Aldhani arc, like after that, it really kicks into gear. But even those first 6 episodes are still fucking phenomenal.
And it's all important.
Yeah, it's not all like important.
Any of it's irrelevant.
They honestly feel like 2 different shows, but they all make sense. It's like the Aldhani arc could have been like 1 season of Andor. I'm glad that it wasn't, you know?
Yeah.
No, it's fucking phenomenal. But what about you? Do you have any other thoughts?
Number 1, I can't wait to see what Cassian is going to do with Luthen's ship, because I do foresee Luthen dying and Cassian like piloting Luthen's ship at some point. And I know that ship's got some crazy tech. We already saw it.
You said it was a lightsaber ship. I just think it's like an Iron Man ship. Definitely reminded me of Iron Man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's not Kyber crystal, but it's like it's pretty similar. I mean, it's conceptually the same like purpose. You know, it's crazy because I think this is the first Star Wars show. I think the Mandalorian kind of could have been it, but I think this is the actual show where it's like you don't have to like Star Wars, but you could watch the show and still get a lot of enjoyment out of it. It's just all around entertaining, and it hooks you in and leaves you wanting more. Yeah, even if you're not a fan of the culture.
It's kind of sad that it's only 2 seasons long. It's going to be a great 2 seasons. It's like
it's going to be a bright future after for other shows.
But yeah, no, I'm curious though if like how much do you need to know to watch Andor? But I think you just need to know that it like takes place before A New Hope.
I would say this. I'd even like slim it down even more. As long as you know what the Death Star is and you watch the post-credit scene, you will you'll pretty much understand the timeline that you're in.
And let's actually before
we forgot about that.
Yeah,
we forgot about that.
This show is a post-credit scene. Did not see that coming at all. Like I would have been fine without a post-credit scene, but this is an interesting one. It's like the Death Star, for one, the coolest shots of the Death Star that I've ever seen.
Amazing.
Like I thought Rogue One had the coolest shots of the Death Star. I mean, it still has like the coolest shots of the Death Star, but this one was like super cool. It's just like looming over a planet, like being constructed using all the stuff that they were building in the prison. Like that's what they were
storytelling weight that is behind the shot that you saw. Fucking bar none. Fantastic.
And it makes you think about the Death Star in a different way. All the parts and the way it was built, all the parts needed for the Death Star were built through like prison labor.
And a lot of rebels.
A lot of people that are like now part of the rebellion. It's like they built up this thing, and like the only way to bring down something you built up to like change something is to destroy it, which happens, in A New Hope or whatever. But
yeah, it happens in Clone Wars as well with Sabine, or Rebels with Sabine, and they're gonna learn like this is what they're building at some point.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, no, that's all I got for season 1 of Andor and the final 2 episodes. I can't
6 out of 5.
6 out of 5. Yes, that's good. 6 out of 5. It's a game changer and then some for Star Wars and for Disney Plus shows, period. Well, that'll do it for us here at the Kyber Culture for episode 108. Thanks for listening, folks. Be sure to leave us a rating and review. Follow us on socials. All the links are in the description. Until episode 109, we will catch you guys next time. And may the Force be with you.